I myself, around almost close to 20 years back, a friend of mine had gifted a cow to me. It came to my farmhouse as a gift. Now today, I have a goshala of around 60 cows. The reason why I'm sharing this is, hardly I'd like to share one, but when the cows are getting slaughtered, instead of fighting, there are crores of Hindus out there, crores of people who go to temples every day. We can form societies in our own native villages. As a Panchayati Raj minister, and I hold a portfolio of PR and environment. In PR, we propose something like Gokulalu, where government will give money to build cow sheds, and people can avail that. And there are community goshalas, and we are trying to do that. So if entire Hindu community in this country, instead of making a ruckus, instead of doing everything, if each and every community protect their cows or gomatas in their own area, I think we don't have to get fear about it. We are part of upholding Dharma. Even Lord Krishna as Govindudu emphasized caring for cows. So we go to Lord Krishna temple, we take prasad and we leave it there. We don't really actually bring back home. If everyone could, at least one family could adopt a cow, a gomata, I don't think we have to go through all this kind of turbulence. Instead of being helpless, and I myself, can you imagine, started with one cow, today I have a goshala of 60 cows. There are enough monies that we spend money on cinema film tickets, we go to club, people go to clubs, people go to luxuries, they spend on marriages. How come being Hindus, instead of before blaming other religion, why we as Hindus, why don't we protect our gomatas? Why don't we, each of us, take the initiative? I think all of us should think. Because I have 60 cows goshala, that's why I'm sharing this. It is possible. So today, cow slaughter continues in certain regions, threatening both our ethical and economic foundations. By supporting cow protection initiatives, from community efforts to activities led by traditional mutts, we safeguard not only the cow, but the very principles that sustain a righteous civilization. And before, one message I would like to give, and I would like to finish my speech. And Gen Z, especially the new generation and millennials and the young professionals of this digital age, live in a constant Kurukshetra. A battlefield of information overload, career pressure, identity confusion, a loneliness in hyper-connected lives, and the fear of failure in a competitive world. For them, Gita is not old philosophy. It is a guide to mental strength and a manual for emotional resilience. When Gita says, Karmanye Vadikaraste, focus on your action, not the outcome. Action is only in our hands, never the outcome. And truly, with 15 years or 20 years I struggled, even as an actor I struggled, even as a political leader I struggled. I never thought I would reach this, I would get this. I said that my duty is to do. Rest, what would be given as a gift would be this from the karma is that the outcome is about God will give. Whether if He doesn't give, that's okay. I'm fine. This is as a human being, as a true, instead of reciting slokas, even a bit part, an ounce of practice is more essential of Gita than reciting the entire Gita and by hearting those lines. Mere by hearting the verses is not enough. It is a message to Gen Z needs more than ever in an age ruled by marks, metrics, likes and comparison. And Gita leaves a message to the youth of Bharat.